What it do, the world? It's your boy, Angel of I is. And of course, I is here to give a message from the stars, giving all praises to the Most High Yah, and of course, giving acknowledgement to the earthly mother, and of course, the sun. And what do we have here? Solar eclipse in Scorpio at 4:58 a.m., October 25th. It's really the 24th into the 25th, but either way. But what is Scorpio? That is your investments, your partnerships, sex, because it does deal with the sacral chakra, other people's money, employment, job, so forth, so forth. Social, yet secretive, so you never really know what's going on in the mind of a Scorpio. Cold, death, and transformation, subconscious, shadow work. This is how you get prepared for the changes that are coming. And of course, this is going to last for the next 6 months. Most people say it's only till the 14th, but really, no, it's a little bit longer than that. These are eclipses. This is a full eclipse cycle with Saturn, the higher authority, just kind of overshadowing the people because it's in the house of Aquarius, which is squaring this. So there's going to be some challenging, you know, it's gonna be a challenging arena, basically. Like you're gonna go through some loops before you get to that happen. A lot of things are earned and not given, but at the same time, we also have the sun at 2 degrees and the moon in Scorpio, along with Venus at 2 degrees and Mercury at 22 degrees Libra, making a grand trine to Mars in Gemini, Saturn in Aquarius, with Vesta, the nurturing star, basically talking to the higher authority, which is Saturn, connecting back to Mercury. So yes, there's a lot going on, particularly within communication, because that grand air trine that you have going on here, all highlighted by the blue. Your Mercury is the one with the little devil horns. Mars is the one with the side pointing out. And then, of course, you have Saturn and Vesta both standing in the same sign of Aquarius. So, a lot of communications, a lot of good energy to, especially because a lot of this energy is specific within relationships. It's great to get what's on your chest on out. How about that? And so, on the same day, we also have the moon to be passing Saturn, or not Saturn, but Uranus in Taurus with the North Node opposing all this energy, as well as passing the South Node. So pretty much all the decisions that you are going to be making moving forward is going to be a part of your destiny. Who you are meant to move forward with will be along that journey with you. What is meant for you, it is for you. But of course, this is a lot of 8th house energy that is coming on here. Now, granted, on the chart, it's showing a little different. It's showing Gemini and Mars right now, but I want to take a second to talk about the 8th house, because in this chart, it's right there where Saturn is. You see the V and then the 1, 2, 3. Okay, that is the 8th house. And that is what this energy is really all about. It is about the 8th element that you have to yourself, your subconscious. Well, that's why the Pluto that runs this energy, which is in Capricorn, which is basically destroying the structures that we have around us, because Capricorn represents structures. So what we are familiar with is all gone. Not coming back, children. Get used to it, because this is the energy that is all coming to the forefront now. Hence why, I don't believe in national voting, but I do believe in local voting. I believe you should get involved with your local communities, because you can make more of an effect there than you can on the world scale. That is more of an electoral thing, and I feel that really has nothing to do with the people. But as far as in town, you can make those changes, and that's what a lot of this energy is going to help on that too, because soon, that will be showing you in a second, but Pluto will also be squaring Mercury in Libra at 22 degrees. So there's going to be a tension that comes within there. So certain choices that you're going to be making, you are going to feel the pressure of it. Is the best way to explain it, because I'm feeling the energy of it, and so trying to explain what it is that I'm feeling, like, you're gonna know when you're in that situation. You're just going to know, and that pressure is for you to break through. It is a glass frame that you are breaking through and regaining your own power back. That is the whole point of the eighth house. Outside of it being a part of partnership and social, it's how you boost yourself and hold yourself to a certain standard. You dig? No one's going to treat you better than you treat yourself. So the best thing to do is to work on that shadow aspect of yourself during this time, during this energy. Don't worry about nobody else, because the proper people will be in your field, because you are now healed. You won't need any other aspect. All right, what it is that you want is seeking you, but you have to be in the manner of for it to come to you. Or else, what's the point? You're just gonna get it, and then it's damaged. So there ain't no point in even having all that. So best believe that these changes are coming. We also have Pluto in Capricorn square Mercury, as I was just talking about beforehand. So that's when you get to the questions, especially the in-depth questions of, because again, we're talking into the number 8. Sorry, I'm searching through my notes here for these questions. Here we go. So questions to ask. Have you dealt with your shadow self? Or have you ignored it? Have you embraced your true self or shaped yourself to whom everyone else expects you to be, only to find yourself not fitting in? Do you listen or watch videos like this and never speak to a soul upon what it is that you're actually listening to, by the fear of being judged? Okay, well, ask yourself these questions and just understand that through this transit, especially because, again, after this charge up with the solar eclipse on the same day, you're still going to get that North Node transit that's going to be opposing all this energy. So you're going to make the wishes that you want, but the challenges are going to come after that. You're going to want to go one direction. Well, there's going to have to be challenges to prove that you want to stick to that path. Because the 8th house, especially with this Pluto square, as you can see right here, Pluto circled in blue, square is that red line, and Mercury is that little horn fella that's standing behind the blue line. With that energy, all right, this is what's shaping the thoughts, because Mercury is air, is Gemini, is Virgo, so it's practical thinking. And with Pluto, in its latter degrees of Capricorn, where it's squaring all this energy, this structure, this bubble that you built yourself to live into is coming to an end. It's over. Call it done. Be prepared for change, because that's something that isn't a constant. And as of the last 2 years since COVID, I'm sure everybody's been standing in a stagnant position, wishing and hoping on the same thing to continue or to get better, but you're not seeing any of those results, so you're just constantly keeping yourself in the loop. It's time to get out of it, because the 8th house, inner, I-N-R-G, is power and authority. Your power and authority in your life, which only comes with self-worth. Do you have any of that, or have you allowed this structure to dictate how you show that strength and authority? Again, these are just questions you got to ask yourself in these coming times. So they ain't bad questions, but you will get these answers as you move along, because again, this is building your destiny now. That was the whole point of the Great Conjunction. Whatever wishes you may have had from that, which was Saturn and Jupiter, they're going to start coming through, whether you're ready or not. These changes are coming. It's just going to add more, especially because, again, this is with relationships. So it's going to be a lot of communications. You got to be very vulnerable and open with a lot of people in order to get what it is that you want. So, and the change is coming. And rather you decide to do nothing or something, doing nothing is something. So At the end of the day, you get what you put your effort into. All right. Even if it's something that's tanking, because this is tank season. Like relationship tank season. No, I hope you don't take overly offense to me saying it's a tank season. I'm just saying, right now it's just a clean out. Because with Mars also retrograding, as you can see in the top right corner or left corner, with that beginning to retrograde here soon again, as I was talking earlier about slowed actions, because Mars is your action, it's how you move. It's the fastest moving planet, so that's how you act. Um, is ran by Aries, and it also has an association to Scorpio as well. That's why Scorpio and Aries tend to be an all or nothing kind of sign. So that's why in these signs, especially with these kind of energies, it's going to be an all or nothing type of deals and whatnot. So this is why you got to have the proper discernment, and hence why our next transit is Mars square Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces. Now, Pisces is already dealing with the media, is dealing with smoke screens, smoke, gases, illnesses, the behind closed doors, scenery things, the hidden hand, so with election season also coming up, and then with everything else going on in your life, is there's going to be a lot of distractions, especially amongst the media, especially amongst, certain candidates that you might be wanting to choose from. Just certain things happening, especially amongst the war. You're hearing so much about, like, nuclear bombs and things of that nature. So a lot of these things, there is truth in them, but a lot of them are made to distract you as well from what the actual thing is actually happening in the world and in the day to day. So they find good ways to trick you, especially because Pisces deals with heightened intuition. And with it squaring Gemini, which is your actions, that means, to have proper discernment or want to take action on certain things, you may be weak on it. So you can fall victim fairly quickly to these distractions, especially when it comes to your relationships, because instead of sitting back and working on your shadow self, now you're trying to find something to compensate that emotion that you may not feel, especially around these heightened energetic times, especially because what you're aiming for is not being viewed in the way that you like. So these are the challenges that you're breaking through. Or if you're trying to move on to something new, but the past, because the South Node is in Scorpio, which is dealing with the past, which is also dealing with Venus, which is in there, which is going to be Kazimiing the Sun, along with Kazimi and Mercury, Kazimi being any planets within 1 to 17 degrees of the sun. So it's kind of like the sun is burning your vision or burning the mindset. It's clearing the path for you to see in your heart space, in your mindset with Mercury, heart space with Venus, and the moon, so your emotions. So the decisions that you make, you can't be, it's authentic. It will come from you. You can't be held back or manipulated like you can't, because Scorpio is also manipulation. Pisces is also manipulation, hence the distractions. So you got to have good discernment around these times, especially because it's dealing with your future. All right, it's like literally next move, best move. Because once um, Pluto moves into Aquarius, this is where your team definitely needs to be together, or the first wave of actually, I don't want to go into that because I don't want to scare nobody. But I'm just saying, you're going to want your team together before that happens. And especially because when Saturn moves into Pisces as well, that's when the delusion is over. Father's home is time to, really crumble down. And there's also a time where you're going to see a lot of what you've imagined come to life. So again, and that's within the next 6 months. So this is why this is a 6 month cycle. From Mars and Gemini, 6 month cycle. This eclipse that's coming up, the solar eclipse, 6 month cycle. So, you got some work to do. If you sitting back listening to this and you ain't been doing that work, it's time to get on that. You're never too late. You're always on time, especially when the Most High got your back. And it's your ancestors just making all this stuff come available for you. Hence why you're here listening to this. So relax. You got people working on your side like nationwide. You dig? That throw a little jokey joke in there, of course. So I know I've said a lot and kind of been all over the place, but I go based upon what the spirit wants me to talk about. Even if I wrote my notes down and I jump to and from them, I'm still giving you what spirit is having me give to you. So I hope you enjoy this as we're coming to the conclusion. As you can see, the stellium that I was talking before him, a stellium is 3 or more planets in one sign. Now, granted, Mercury is still in Libra, but it's still reflecting the 2 degrees that the sun is in, as you can see on the chart below. The 2 degrees where the moon is, 22 where Mercury is, and 2 degrees Venus. That is a heavy stellium that deals with 2, 2, 2, 2, which if you add it all up, 2, 4, 6, 8. So this is the power of 8, the infinity sign. So this is all coming to help you get whatever situations you need to get situated, so then your progression forward is more aligned to you and not aligned to anyone else. This is why you must embrace your shadow side. Doesn't mean you have to enact what it is on your shadow side. Some of you will, some of you may not. At least you just may understand what it is, and you will accept that side of yourself, integrate that part of yourself, and then move forward. In other words, you won't really care what other people have to say and or think of you, because you are authentically being you while they are wearing a mask, which has been pretty much the theme over the last 2 years, because everyone had to wear a mask while we were out and about. And that's kind of something fun and exciting to think about just a little bit. The mask era, we can never see anybody's true face, right? Okay, so if you didn't take that lesson from that time and was just annoyed, well, then there you go. There's the sun brightening your vision right there on that. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Yes, because that stellium is something. You're going to feel this energy. You're going to definitely feel it by 4:58 in the morning. It's going to come into your dreams. This is definitely going to help your dreamscape. So, because, this is traveling energy, especially when the moon starts shifting into Sagittarius after all this energy, and then it's thrown into optimism, which is Sagittarius. So, if you enjoyed this, please hit the like button, all that good stuff. I'll definitely have spots for donations. Leave comments. If there's anything you've experienced, by all means, please do let me know. Yeah, be on the lookout for how these will be affecting your individual signs. I don't know if I'll do one whole video or I'll do a whole thing, but we'll see as I go along. And then hope to hear and see from you guys on the next one, which will be the full moon in Taurus. Until then, giving all praises to the Most High.